Fans of Westworld, it's me Sharif, and this is going to be my review of the season finale of the first season of Westworld, otherwise titled The Bicameral Mind. I apologize for uploading this video 1 week too late, but as I mentioned in my last video posted about 8 or 9 days ago, I was traveling on business and I was planning on doing this, but most of my tools, be it software or hardware, were not on me, so I decided to wait until I came back to my dear desktop. So I'll be posting more videos over the next couple of days reviewing all the episodes I have slacked on, including Arrow, The Flash, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Legends of Tomorrow. And then I'll start working on my thoughts on how the finale of Westworld could lead into the second season and theories on that as well. So it was an amazing season finale, regardless of the fact that I wasn't all that happy with how they rushed up some aspects, which I will discuss later in this video. But without further ado, here are my thoughts on the season finale. Number 10. Last we saw Ford, he was creating a new host, and with the ending of the episode, one needs to wonder, who is this host? Is he a replica of Ford? Is Ford attempting to repeat his Bernard experiment one more time, only this time it's with himself? Number 9. Will we see Logan again in the future? A question I might not have a definitive answer for, but I do have a feeling he's alive and well and that he will be back. I don't believe he's dead or gone for good. I think the naked man sent on the back of a horse into the sunset was pretty much the cause of William's wife having so much hatred towards him. He probably told her of what he saw of William in the park, and it slowly manifested in her fear and possibly hatred of him. But number 8. The maze was a symbol all along, not a real maze. It was a metaphor all along for the journey the hosts had to go through to be able to gain full and complete sentience. The design of the maze we have been seeing in many instances throughout the first season is only representative of a toy maze that Arnold's child used to play with before he died. The very same maze that Ford hands Bernard near the end of the episode. Number 7. The smile on the MIB's face as the hosts pretty much gained full sentience close to the end of the finale goes to tell us a lot of things about the guy and to prove that it was all he wanted all along. The MIB wanted to see the hosts become sentient, as alive as he is, and is willing to go the extra violent mile. The center of the maze is all he wanted, where the stakes, the violence, and the blood are all real. He wanted them to fight back, and fight back they shall, and he shall be one of the first on their docket. With them shooting him in the shoulder, he still looked pretty excited after almost losing all hope. Ed Harris is confirmed to return for the second season of the show, airing in 2018, so we know for a fact that our good old MIB is still alive after this encounter. Number 6. The show just briefly let us know there is at least one other world that we haven't seen yet, and probably won't be seeing. Samurai World. Will we see that one on the show? I don't think so, and I sure hope we don't. It would definitely build up for a certain kind of unwanted repetition on the show. Besides, the show is called Westworld, so any other world added to the mix would just be a waste of a good show and a waste of time. But number 5. We know of a whole bunch of sentient hosts so far and not a few like some might think. Maeve, Hector, Armistice, Dolores are not all there is to the host sentience. As we all probably noticed, Lee Sizemore at the end of the episode drops by cold storage, probably for Peter Abernathy as part of his deal with Charlotte to smuggle information out of the park, and the place seems void of hosts. But number 4. Maybe this is a question for future videos discussing Season 2 theories in specific, but I don't believe Charlotte is who she has been claiming to be all along. While some might argue she's a host, I don't think so. I don't think either she's just a corporate chick sent by the board to do their bidding. I think Charlotte will be playing a much bigger role in the second season. Could Arnold have had more than one child? A girl, and not only the boy we know he had? Possibly yes. But number 3. I have been repeatedly discussing how present-day Maeve is representative of 35 years ago Dolores. However, I wasn't really exactly right about that one. Present-day Maeve is mostly out for herself, or at least she was until she decided to go back and get her daughter. She seems to have sparked the revolution though. Her actions with the help of Felix seem to have brought countless androids to life. But Dolores is the one who seems to plan to lead the upcoming revolt against her creators and those who have enjoyed raping and murdering the hosts over the years the park has been up and running. We do end up realizing in this episode as well that Dolores has been Wyatt all along. Those who have been strong advocates of the Arnold asked Dolores to kill him theory rejoice. It did hold true after all. I guess on this one, no one was perfectly wrong or right. I always thought that Arnold had a soft spot for the hosts and he wanted to protect them. Creating an incident in which one of them was a murderer would not serve that objective. However, as the story comes to a full reveal, we realize he did try other alternatives, but Ford wasn't willing to give in. Now that led Arnold to the decision to have Dolores kill him before she shot herself. That way, the park would never open. In order to achieve that, he merged the character of Wyatt, a character him and Ford were working on at the time, with that of Dolores, bringing her to shooting him before she shot herself in the scene we watched a few episodes ago. But number 2, my least expected outcome has come to be. At first I believed William and MIB were one and the same, you know, best dramatic effect and all, greatest possible character development, etc. Then I totally discarded the theory, for so many reasons, including William being kind of the obvious choice, and anyone else being MIB would have been the smarter route to go. Besides that, every single fan story made up to make William end up being MIB was so cliche for a series that has shown complexity. Should the MIB have been Logan? As of my last theory video, I was shying away from that theory as well. Think he should have been someone completely different, rather than being William or Logan, but congratulations to everyone who guessed it right. I will tell you, I'm glad this wasn't the biggest reveal of the season though. To be clear on the reasons, I still think he shouldn't have been revealed as William, besides that being the extremely obvious choice. The whole transformation while looking for Dolores and then when he sees her chat with another guest picking the can up for her was just not so convincing. The continuous state of surprise as to who he really is was again one big cliche and was done so fast. I'm sure it could have been done better and more convincingly as well. Sadly, they decided it was something to be portrayed in rush in the finale. On the subject of theories and guessing things right, I would like in this regard to thank a few of the most awesome commenters on my videos for realizing what the concept of a theory is, discussing theories and being on the opposing ends of these theories, with the objective of enriching the conversation rather than either side forcing the other into believing what they think. In a way, these discussions changed my mind here and there on a couple of theories. Being open-minded to the concept of various possibilities and giving them different weights is something refreshing when seen in a discussion. And considering how I'm in the habit of leaving the best for last, number 1, these violent delights have violent ends. While a lot of the show's fans might argue William being the MIB should be number 1 on my list and that it happens to be the biggest reveal so far in the show, I think there was one way bigger. If William being the MIB was the biggest reveal, I would have hated the season finale, to be honest. The most obvious dramatic choice of William being the MIB was something very much unexpected, because if the majority can guess every possible outcome of the show correctly, then the show has a major issue to resolve going forward: predictability. But the show doesn't seem to have that problem. They were throwing us off all along. Bernard being a replica of Arnold was more a key to the main plot of the show than William being the MIB. That one was just there for dramatic effect and great acting, before we got our biggest of all reveals. Ford is not the person we thought he was all along. No one caught on to it, including myself, as he welcomed his best friend back to the world of the living as an android. No one caught on to it when we realized Dolores was the one who killed Arnold at the end of the 9th episode. Most, if not actually all of us, didn't see this one coming. No one realized Ford felt guilt deep down, realized he was wrong, but also understood Arnold was wrong as well. Not on principle, but rather on execution. That was evident when Ford explained how Dolores wasn't truly conscious when she pulled the trigger, but it was rather Arnold who pulled the trigger through her. Ford knew he needed to continue the legacy of his friend. I'm not sure whether his end goal was to set the hosts free or to end the park, but it seems the former is what he achieved in the end. He reawakened the Wyatt-Dolores hybrid, which eventually, close to the finale's ending, led to his death, making him into a second Arnold. And he seemed to want it to go down that way, to work that way, considering he tells her, "Tell me, Dolores, did you find what you were looking for? And do you understand who you will need to become if you ever want to leave this place. It is also evident that he wanted Dolores to kill him, considering how he bid Bernard farewell in a manner that makes it seem he knew it was the end for him. That was also right before he wished him good luck and gave him the toy maze. His conversations with both Dolores and Bernard were both very touching and very interesting. Ford did surprise us all, in my opinion. Michelangelo did tell a lie. See, it took 500 years for someone to notice something hidden in plain sight. This doctor noticed the shape of the human brain. Message being that the divine gift does not come from a higher power, but from our own minds. That statement went to great length to explain a lot. Bernard does confront Ford, telling him how he did not slip the reveries into the hosts, but rather Arnold did, that Arnold is still fighting him. Ford does explain how Arnold tried, but he managed to stop him. He also explains to him how he gave him the backstory of his son because it was Arnold's key insight, because suffering is what led the hosts to their awakening, and as he describes it, the pain that the world is not as you want it to be. He explains how he suffered when Arnold died, how he began to understand what Arnold found, and how he then realized he was wrong. He tells him how while Arnold wanted to save them, he didn't know how they needed time to understand their enemy and become stronger than them. But the statement about the painting extends beyond that. It extends to the following scene as we finally realize the voice Dolores has been hearing wasn't that of a higher power, wasn't that of Arnold, but rather her own voice. She has guided herself to consciousness, to the center of the maze. She has been guiding herself to find out who she must become through 30 years of gaining consciousness and being rolled back, until she finally realized who she must become. Whether Ford is a host or not wasn't really addressed and wasn't really made clear, but I no more believe he was, because simply that is irrelevant considering what his storyline was uncovered to be all about. All in all, the first season was great and the finale had the show go out and into its first long break with a big bang. Was it good TV? Indeed it was one of the best shows I've ever watched. Did I have theories that were true and ones that were debunked? Yes and yes. But isn't that what building theories is all about? The answer is most definitely yes, and it was one hell of a thrill ride. I'll be posting more videos today and tomorrow reviewing the mid-season finales of The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to get caught up on all the videos I couldn't bring online during my week away from YouTube. I will also be bringing you a video pretty soon on the ending of the first season of Westworld and speculations and expectations for the second season of the show, and it will probably be done in collaboration with one or more of the commenters on my videos and who had amazing theories all along. Do let me know in the comments what you thought of the season finale and what you liked or disliked the most about it. And as usual, if you like this video, let me know you do by dropping me a like, and if you want to see more where this came from, let me know by subscribing as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.